Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So today we will see one more concept in hashing, that is collision resolution techniques or collision handling techniques. So in our previous session we have seen the hash functions, so division method, mid square method and folding method. And the common problem in all these hash functions is a collision. So there might be a chance of getting a collision. That means for two key values, if there is a same hash code, then there will be a dilemma which should be stored in the memory. So that is a collision. So we have to handle such type of collisions. So we will see what are the different collision resolution techniques, right? So we can also call it as a collision handling techniques. So once again, we will recall what exactly the collision means. So I'll take the first method, that is a division method. Division method. So mainly this hashing is used to improve the efficiency to store or retrieve the data from the memory, right? So that we have seen in our introduction session. So in the division method, so let us take some elements like 12, 30, 42 and 54, and there will be a hash table with different indexes. Let it be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Let us take here 6, 7, 8, 9. So let it be the table size is 10 from 0 to 9, right? So this is a hash table. So these are the keys. So we need to store these keys in the hash table. So by using division method, what we are doing? 12 mod 10. The key mod size of the table. So the result is 2. So obviously the 12 can be stored in 2. So here we are storing this 12. Coming to the next 30 mod 10, which is 3. Which is 0. Right? So remainder will be the result. So 0. So in 0 we are just placing 30. Coming to the third one, 42 mod 10, which gives the result as 2. So already the element is available in index 2. So the elements 42 and 12, the hash code is same. What is the hash code? 2 is the hash code for both 12 and 42. So which should be stored in that memory. So already 12 is available. Where to be stored? This 42, where we have to store it? Because it is also having the same hash code. So this type of problem, we call it as collision. This type of problem, we call it as a collision. For example, so H1 of key is equal to H2, key 1, and if it is equal to H1 of key 2. So if any case this condition satisfies, that we say it as a collision. Now how to handle such type of collisions? So we are having a different techniques. So those techniques are mainly categorized into two parts. So first one, collision handling techniques, categorized as separate chaining. This is the one possibility to handle the collision, and the second one is open addressing. This is another one, open addressing, right? So this is also called as closed hashing, and this is an open hashing. And see, again, this open addressing is again categorized in different ways. One is linear probing quadratic probing. There are different techniques. Okay, quadratic probing, and the last one is double hashing. Double hashing. So there are three more techniques under open addressing. So all these techniques are used to handle collisions in hashing. Now in this session we'll focus on separate chaining. That means if we are having any collision occurs in the hashing, how it can be handled in separate chaining and what is the drawback. Okay, so the first, separate chaining. Hope you understood. So these are the techniques to handle the collisions in hashing. So I'll write here separate chaining. So the name it indicates, so we have to form a chain separate to the hash table. For example, let us consider the hash table with a size 10. The same thing we'll see. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. 7, 8 and 9. So this is a hash table with size 10. Okay, hash table with size 10. We will take the same example. So let it be some 12, 30, 42, 52, 60 and 72. Okay, or else, yeah. So what we have to do? So first, let us take only few. Okay, so 12. Where we can store this 12? So you can use a division method. By using division method, so 12 mod size of the table 10, which gives it 2. So 2 is the hash code for 12. So previously we are directly storing the value in the index 2 memory, but now we will not store the value directly in the hash table. So we will store in a linked list. We will store in linked list. We will all know about the linked list, which will be having a two parts. One is a value, another one is a address. So here it will be storing 12 and here it is null. Here it is null. And now repeat the same process. So the address of 12 will be here. The address of 12 will be placed here. Next, 30. By using the same division method. So 30 mod 10, which gives the hash code as 3. So in the place of 3, we have to place the address of 30. So here, once again, one more is created, a linked list is created, and here it will be placed at 30, and here it will be null. Then, come to the third one, 42. Again using the division method. 42 mod 10 is equal to 2. So again we are getting the same hash code. So which gives a collision. Now we have to make this element as a next node in the linked list. So here we have to erase the null and we have to give the address of 42 here. Address of 42 here. Address of 42. And here we need to create a one more node, one more linked list with an element 42 and the value is null. The address, the second part will be null. Now, fourth element, that is a 52. Again you can see 52 mod 10. So which will again gives a 2. So insert one more linked list here. So here you can insert a one more node with an element 52 and use a null, and here if you link one more node, this will be the address of 52. Okay, so there is a one more node, so the last node address will be 0, I mean null, because it doesn't points to any other node, right? So next 60, if it is 60, so 60 mod, sorry, here I think it's not 3, it's 0, right? So 30 mod 10, it is 0. So this node will be created here. Okay, I'm extremely sorry for that. Okay, so 30 and it is null. Now 60 mod 10, which will also gives a 0 as a result. Okay, the hash code is same. Now what we have to do? We have to add 60 to this particular linked list. So 60 and then last node, it is a null. So replace this null with the address of 60. With the address of 60. Okay, so this is how we are just inserting the elements in the form of linked list. Okay, and here there will be address of 30 because 30 is the first node. 30 is the first node, right? So for example, next, if it is again 40, what happens? 40 mod 10, which is again 0. 40 mod 10 again it is 0. So here null, in the place of null, the address of 40 will be stored and one more linked list will be created with another node with 40 and null. Okay, so this is the way we are separating all the elements other than to the hash table. Just we are adding the address of first linked node, first node in the hash table. And if any element or if any key produces the same key, same hash code, then simply insert one more node as a linked list, single linked list. So we know single linked list node will be having two parts. One is the value, another one is the address. The same thing we are doing here. So we are linking one node with another node. Okay, so the address part of last node will be null because it doesn't points to anything. Okay, so this is how we are just separating the elements from the hash table. So this is called as a separate chaining. So we are separating and we are forming a chain by using the linked list. Right? So the main drawback of this one is it requires a more memory to store all these elements because we know that linked list will be having a two different parts, that is a value and the address. So the memory will be more occupied. Okay, so you have to perform this, you have to insert all the nodes with the same hash code. So this linked list will be keeps on going for a large number of elements which generates the common key hash code. Right? So this is the main drawback of this one. Okay, more memory. So drawback, more memory. It requires a more memory because each node it requires a two data. I mean two memory locations it should occupy. Right? So more memory and the nodes can be more. Nodes can be more. Okay, the linked list can be more. So this process we call it as a separate chaining, right? So this is a one way to handle the collision in hashing, particularly in hashing in data structures, right? So I'll stop here and I hope you understood the same thing. So the collision will be occurring in all the hash functions. Here we are taking the method as a division method as an example. So you can also try with the next other two methods, that is a mid square method or a folding method. Definitely you may get the same hash code for a different key values. So obviously the collision will occur in all hash functions. So this is a one technique to handle the collision. So I'll stop here and in our next session we'll see one more concept of collision handling techniques, that is a linear probing, which comes under the category of open addressing. Right? So if you are having any doubts regarding this one, feel free to post your doubts in the comment section. Definitely I will try to clarify all your doubts. And if you really enjoyed my session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.